19,000 tons, 700 feet in length, which sounds very big, but when you're way up here and trying to land an aircraft on her, she looks pretty small. At present, the Maggie's on joint maneuvers with the United States Navy, and right now we're going to take you down to show you what life on a carrier is like. There. It's certainly much more like it. And as soon as I get this May West off, which makes you feel very safe in the air, I'll have a good look at the ship. She's very large, in fact, nearly like an island. And speaking of islands, over there, that's a carrier's island. You'll find the guns, the radar, and the captain's bridge. So let's go over now and meet the captain of the ship, Commodore Reynard. We're on the second level of the island now, and the noise you undoubtedly hear over me is caused by this radar aerial. Up there are several more. Down here are the starboard gun embankments, anti-aircraft. They're 40mm Bofors, and down along the side are several more embankments. Now let's get onto the bridge. We're on the bridge now, a very busy place in a quiet sort of way. It's also known as a compass platform. Approximately 40 telephone lines running into here, innumerable voice pipes, and all the decisions, of course, all the information leads into here, decisions are made, and information leads out again. This is Commodore Reynard, the captain of the ship. How do you do again, sir? And I want to thank you again for all the wonderful cooperation in showing us life on a carrier. And first of all, sir, I'd like to ask you what the basic function of a carrier is in the Navy, in the fleet.
Of course, the purpose of a carrier is to operate naval aircraft. We have two types of aircraft on board here: anti-submarine aircraft for hunting submarines, and fighter aircraft to protect the ship against enemy aircraft.
I see. And the aircraft are directly under orders, to you rather, under your orders.
Yes, in common with all ships, the captain of a carrier is responsible for all that goes on in his ship. But to assist him, he has in charge of the air department a senior and very experienced naval aviator who is known as Commander Air.
I see. And then he would have an equal, I suppose, for your assistance in naval operations.
Yes, there are 4 other departments: the executive, engineering, electrical, and supply departments, each of which is headed by a commander, and the senior commander is the executive officer, who is also the second in command of the ship.
I see.
The executive officer is just over there, Commander O'Brien.
How do you do, sir? How do you do? Commander, possibly you can tell me, are the aircraft in operation now? Are they out?
No, we haven't any aircraft up now, but we're flying today.
Are you?
If you want the details, Commander Air can give them to you. He's out in flying control. Come on.
Wonderful.
Let's do this, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, Air. I'd like you to meet Mr. Andrew Holmey. This is Commander Wildress, Commander Air in the ship.
Glad to know you, Andrew. Lieutenant Commander Flying, Bill Monroe.
All right.
He controls the flying on and off from the ship here.
Well, I'll leave you with Air for a while and see you later, all right?
Thanks very much. I understand you're doing some flying soon today.
Yeah, we'll be flying in about an hour, so we'll see some real operations then.
Good. What sort of aircraft do you carry on board?
We have 16 Avengers, which we use for AS aircraft, and 10 Seafires.
I see. Well, is there any chance of having a look at them a little more closely?
Well, let's go down on deck and have a look at them right now.
Thanks.
Line control. Well, let's go forward and have a look at the Avengers. This is the Avenger aircraft.
That's a reconnaissance plane?
It's an anti-submarine aircraft. We use it for anti-submarine purposes.
Can it be used in strafing or bombing submarines?
Yes, it can. It can carry an armament. And
But I suppose that's not its chief duty.
Its main duty is to keep the submarines down and to track them when they find them.
And that carries a crew of how many, Commander?
It carries a crew of 3, a pilot, an observer, and observer's mate.
The wing, I imagine, is always kept back while it's on board.
Yes, that's folded so we can store more of them on board, both up above here and down below in the hangar.
Very good.
And this is a Sea Fury. That's our fighter aircraft that we carry on board here. It's a fast aircraft.
A good deal faster, I imagine, than
the
your Avenger.
Oh, yes, certainly quite a bit faster.
Approximately what is its cruising speed?
Oh, it can cruise up around 235, 250 knots.
And landing speed would be?
It's about 85 knots.
That makes it a fairly...
flying control, sir.
Oh, will you excuse me? I have to go on up now. I'll see
Thank
you
you very
around later.
much. Thank you, Commander. There's a great deal that keeps these planes in the air and this ship afloat. A great many departments and a great many trades and skills. These planes have a great deal of electrical equipment, all of which has to be maintained and kept in good order. Electrician's mate Ernie Vosberg of Maryville keeps watch on the main electrical switchboard, which transfers power to all parts of the ship. In the electronics workshop, a small group of men are kept busy maintaining the 6 radars, 30 transmitters, and 80 receivers aboard the ship. Of course, not all of it can be serviced from the comfort of a chair. Some of the equipment, like this VHF aerial, calls for the talents of a steeplejack, as well as an electronics expert. And going from the highest point on the ship to probably the lowest. Here in the bowels of the ship, we find the boiler rooms. They generate the steam and the power that drives the ship. At present, it's 115 degrees in which these men work, in spite of numerous fans blowing cold air from atop. This doesn't prevent the temperatures to rising up to 130 degrees when we get full steam ahead. The steam from the boilers goes into the turbine. There's a high pressure and a low pressure turbine, which turn the starboard shaft that propels the ship's crew. These turbines are controlled on the forward space, the forward engine space control platform, where there are a maze of wheels and dials and watches, which would take me a year to learn and to explain to you. Here on the Maggie, there is an up-to-date bakery which keeps 5 men constantly busy, turning out cakes, pies, cookies, and all sorts of desserts. These ovens turn out 500 loaves of bread a day. To feed 1,000 men takes a big galley, and the Maggie's menu usually carries 2 choices of meat, 2 choices of vegetables. For an example, today the men have a choice of stewed steak, grilled hamburg, or deep-fried fish. The men line up in lines, make their choice, and carry their trays into their own cafeteria. When the ship's not too far at sea, mail is flown in daily by helicopter. And if you want a haircut or a beard trim, the Maggie has a couple of scissor experts, too.
The Boston Halifax convoy is coming up the coast. Our own force is situated between these two forces. We will be providing anti-submarine patrols for this convoy and for the coastal convoy. The main threat is a patrol line of submarines to the northwest of the main convoy, between Halifax and the convoy. Are there any questions?
Will there be someone there to release?
Flight control, aircrew man aircraft, over.
Roger.
Let's get going.
Let's go.
During all landings and takeoffs, the firefighters in their asbestos suits stand ready for action. With the aircraft ready for takeoff, the captain brings the ship into the wind.
Flag Fox, close up.
Flag Fox, close up.
Turn together to 335, speed 23.
335, speed 23.
Port 20, revolutions 210. Aircraft ready to start up, sir. Okay, Bill, start them up. Stand by to start up. Stand clear of propellers. Start up.
like an accident this time.
Okay, get them out of the way, shut them off, and get the rest of them off.
Flight deck, officer. The forward wings, take them out and carry on fly off.
The men are back now. We're all set for the next takeoff.
The wind's dropped, sir. Okay, catapult them. Squirt them off.
This is 8-ball telephone. The air directions room is the nerve center of air operations. The air direction officer is the key man, and all information coming in by radio and radar will be recorded on the master plot. The Furies are controlled on these 3 radar sets. There are 3 men behind the transparent master plot. They write backwards so that it can be read from the front. Their information comes from the radar scopes.
Once the planes are airborne, and there's a lull in flying operations, the aircraft handlers relax in spirited games.
Aircraft to the northwest reports a submarine diving approximately 20 miles over.
Tell them to drop a smoke float and mark it.
In here, Roger.
Centimeter, your distance for 300, over.
Centimeter 300.
Friendly 15 is merged with Maggie 19.
020, 30. Track 14, 050, 42. Tracking
Boogie 19 is turning away.
Track 16, 100, 25. Orbiting. Track 13.
Friendly 16 is going out to investigate Boogie 14.
40.
That's 5-1 returning there at track 14.
The landing signals officer, better known as the LSO, with the radio communications man behind him, are responsible for bringing the planes in. Right now, he's giving a plane a lowering motion. There, that's more power. And the plane can't make it, so he waves him off. Furies hit the deck at around 121 miles an hour. That's quite a jolt when they hit the hook. Crash cruiser ready. Well, things have calmed down with the operations over. The aircraft handlers move the planes down into the hangar, planes in need of repairs. We're going down now on the lift, and I think I'll take a ride with them. This is the hangar deck, although it's a little too dark for the camera to give you a good view. Repair crews are usually working full steam on the 1,001 things that keep the planes in the air.
Black Fox, close up.
Black Fox, close up.
Well, it's been a long and busy and a very satisfying day for me on the Maggie. We've got to go now, and it's been very pleasant meeting all the men. This is Andrew Halmay bidding you goodbye from Her Majesty's Canadian ship, Magnificent.